You ready? No. Ready?
Going.
Good evening. Welcome to the first meeting of February for the Pemberton Township Council. Notice of this meeting was advertised in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Ms. Trueblood?
Present.
Mr. Allen?
Present.
Mr. Gardner?
Present.
Ms. Jackson? Present. Mr. Cartier?
Present. This meeting is called to order. Just to be sure, there is still no closed session for this evening?
That's correct, Mr. President.
Mr. Bear, nothing?
Nothing, Council President.
Council, anything?
No.
Right, we will move on. Public comments. Anyone wishing to make comments before this council, please come forward. State your name, print your name, and make your comments. Ms. Quinn.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Under the consent agenda items, can somebody give me a little more information on 50-217?
Mr. Gonzalez.
Our Director of Community Development, and I believe the Mayor, have been working with Deborah and the county to determine whether the area surrounding Deborah is a suitable area in need of redevelopment in order to enhance the uses, primarily for medical uses, and promote additional development related to medical uses in the area. The process under the municipal land use law is that the council essentially makes a request by resolution of the planning board that the area be studied to determine if it's an area in need of redevelopment. In this case, the study will be conducted by a company engaged by the county and the Bridge Commission in particular. They do that sort of work, sort of functioning as an improvement authority. And it's at no cost to us and no cost to Deborah. They will investigate and make sure that the conditions of the properties fit the definition in the municipal land use law, and then they will make a recommendation back to council. Ultimately, if it goes through as we are hopeful it does, there will be a redevelopment plan created, and that will ultimately go both to the planning board and to the council for approval.
Okay, is it township ground, or this isn't ground that Deborah owns, is it? It's township property. No.
It'll include, most of the property includes land that Deborah owns, but I think there's some additional property in the area. It's not taking anybody's property. It's just to designate the area for a specific use, basically like a zoning overlay to promote a certain kind of development in and around Deborah.
Okay.
If I may piggyback on Ms. Quinn's question, so I don't have to pull it from the agenda. I thought there was a plan in place to develop that property already, that they were before the planning board last year.
Yeah, there's a development plan in place, a developer developing the property, but what we want to do in conjunction with that is to designate the area in need of redevelopment to go along with this developer, to assist this developer in this development process. That'll open up opportunities where, for instance, we could do a pilot program with the developer if it's designated an area in need of redevelopment, which benefits the township, because right now we're not getting any taxes on that property. Once this company comes in and develops this property, the property becomes taxable, and then that taxes get divided up into all the hands that are in the pot. Whereas as a pilot program, as you know, we decide all but 5% of where that money goes. So then we have control as to where those taxes will go, except the 5% that will go to the county. That puts it in the council's control.
The specific project that you're talking about is underway, and I believe there are permits that have been issued already, or the plans are being reviewed for the private use of a portion of the Boris property.
Thank you, Ms.
52-2017. Can I just get a little bit of an explanation? Like, I know where Sepulga is, but like, how much of a reconstruction? Like, what is being reconstructed? Is it bridges besides the roadway, or?
It's a portion of Sepulga, and it will be only the street. What this is a contract for ARH to design a portion of the road pursuant to the application and award that we submitted last year that had gotten caught up with the Department of Transportation funding issue and last year. So this is last year's. We already have an award, and it's for ARH to design that portion of the road that has already been approved for redevelopment by NJDOT. And then they will create the bid specifications, because this has to be put out to bid. It's not done by our employees. And this is in addition to our in-house road paving program.
Mr. Allen? Yeah. Since Ann mentioned 52-2017, can you just explain how resolution number 51-2017 and 52-2017 go together?
Yeah, they are both regarding Sepulga, but there are different parts of Sepulga. 52 is last year's award, which has been accepted, and we want to start design and construction of. 51 is an application for additional funds for an additional portion of Sepulga. The application is for 2017 money from the state. Sepulga is a long road, and we didn't get awarded enough money by the state in order to do the entirety of the road, or most of the road. So essentially we ended up splitting it into two. Last year's has been awarded. We're hoping that the second gets awarded. If that gets awarded, we'll have to go through a similar process, and that is we'll have to get that portion designed, put out to bid, and then constructed.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Quinn.
No problem. 57-2017. Isn't the country house, it's for, was the building sold? Because it's been vacant for quite a while, and you're transferring a liquor license?
Sorry, say that again.
I can answer this one. Yeah, it's person to person. This is for a person-to-person transfer. It's just the liquor license. The building is separate. So somebody else purchased the liquor license, and
Okay.
this is for the
From
sale.
the owners from the people that owned the building at one time?
From the bank. The
Okay,
bank
the bank
has owned it for quite a while.
Okay. I just made me think, somebody bought the building and it's finally going to be...
I thought the same. Unfortunately, not that I'm aware of.
In due time.
Yeah, hopefully. I thought the same.
But isn't the license attached to that property, and if they want to move it from that property, they have to apply?
No, actually, they don't.
Okay.
A liquor license is actually considered separate from the property.
All right.
Right now, it's a pocket license. It's not being used anywhere.
Okay.
And on the ordinances that are for introduction tonight, if I may ask a question, if not, I'll ask a question later.
Sure.
What are these properties? Are these the properties that weren't sold in the first round?
So these are the ones that were sold in the first round.
This is confirming, these ordinances just confirm the township's ability to convey the property to the successful bidder.
Okay, so these were the sold properties, but there hasn't been anything else done to the ones that are gonna come back around a second time?
Not yet, right?
Not yet.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Ms. Phillips?
Good evening, everybody in general.
Good evening.
I had a question goes to the mayor. Where is the start in the building from PL at this time? I think you understand what building I'm talking about. There's only one.
I suspect you're talking about the former Presidential Lakes Fire Company building, and we are meeting with a developer tomorrow to go over options on that property.
Okay. I have another question. I know that this was passed in the past. I've been in this township when been 37 years, 38 years close. And all the time I've been, in all those years I've been attending the township meetings. Always the public spoke in the end. And if I'm not mistaken, in the last 6 months, I know that I was here and there when they changed that in the beginning. And I be honest with you, I speak for myself as a resident for this township. What the Arden Township did, or the council did, or whoever made the decision, I didn't vote for that, I know that. If you want the resident to speak in the beginning, why did you separate for the residents? Why didn't you speak too? We speak in the beginning and you speak in the end. To me, it's not right. You go and do something, you change your folks' way.
Ms. Phillips, that was last year I was the council president, and I actually had it on the agenda to rearrange the sequence of the meeting, and I requested that, council look into it and discuss it, and we voted on it, and the majority ruled that the public comments would move forward instead of be at the end. So nothing changed with, that wasn't Dave's fault.
Okay.
That had nothing
Dave's
to do.
fault. Just so we're clear, Mrs. Phillips, the mayor and administration has nothing to do with this agenda.
That's what he just said.
Yeah, no, I know.
She thought it was your fault.
Noticed she was staring at me the whole time she was commenting.
But
I
he
just
just
want her to
explained that to her.
understand.
He does. He just explained that to her.
I should have left it as is. He was blaming you.
No, I don't set this agenda.
Okay, but where was the reason for the council to change this? Did you understand that we live in the boondocks? Unluckily, unfortunately, I'm retired now and I don't have little children or anything. People arrive home. People gotta cook their meal, gotta eat for them to come to this meeting. If they going to arrive in this meeting 7 o'clock, 7:15, it's too late for them to just, if they got any problem. That's the reason they are discussed. I'll be honest with you. How many people I can count in this room
Ms.
right
Phillips, please.
now? I'm sorry.
Thank you. All right. And then I can give you the opposite side of people coming in and waiting, having to wait till the end and complaining that it's so late in the night to make their comments that they have to go home to put their kids to bed. So it both ways.
Didn't we, Jason, wasn't that set, like the bylaws, it was set in accordance with the bylaws?
Right, that's true too.
That right?
Yeah.
As I recollect, so the bylaws, which have been in effect since, Amy, 2000?
I think,
1999.
There
It's-
were changes intermittently. At
Yeah.
one point, we had 2 public comment sections, one in the beginning and one at the end, and decisions were made to...
Right.
The law only requires 1 public comment section at a meeting.
Yeah, and then I think what council did last year was in conformance with the 1999 bylaws, because Jason, that's what you worked off of at the time. So the council, a long time ago, had set bylaws with what the agenda should look like, and that's really all that the council did last year, but...
Well, they also did change it so that it could be changed at the council president's
Yeah.
discretion.
Right.
To leave it a little more fluid as needed.
As needed, right.
Okay, well, I guess I had to attend another meeting in another township and found that out. how they rule their bylaws in their places too.
Well, just
that
so you
would
know,
apply to
I
us.
checked with, Amy and I checked with other townships, and other townships, there are quite a few other townships that actually have the public comments at the beginning of the meeting as opposed to the end. So we did that research.
Okay, but when they come into those meetings, they want to find their answer for the meeting priority to that, if I'm not mistaken, because I know I attended one town, and they had questions, and they told them they will find it out. In the next meeting they coming up, they will give them the answer. But in here doesn't work that way. Okay, my third input for myself as a resident of Presidential Lakes. I use the back roads, New Lisbon roads, to Upper Mill Road. Upper Mill Road, I gotta come on Oregon Trail. I noticed for a long time in Oregon Trail, one time they knocked the sign down, but we need at least a light. It's very dangerous and very dark in that place. If there is a new resident moving that development and start taking the back roads, the resident doesn't, he's going to be confused because you hardly can see the sign in there. There is no light. We need a light in there. Few feet down the road, there is lights in there.
Where exactly?
Upper Mill Road and
Okay,
Oregon
I know
Trail.
Okay, I know, right at that intersection, you're saying?
You make a left. You make a left.
Going out towards 70.
No, you
Are
can come up to
coming
New
into the
Lisbon Road.
development or going out of the development?
We got the back road. We cross the bridge.
I know Upper
Okay,
Mill Road.
we can make
I know Oregon Trail.
Yes, you can make a left, you go to Route 70. You can make a right, you come on New Lisbon Road.
Right. So where are you asking for a light?
Where I'm asking, in that section
Right
there.
at that intersection.
Is correct. A regular light. I don't
Can you
ask for a traffic
Look
light.
into that, please, Mayor. Right.
I also, in the past, I travel on Route 70 with Route 530 and 70. I know that that's county, that's part of Pemberton, whatever. I asked in the past, there's been a lot of deaths down in the roads. And I've been noticed, I've been driving in the snowstorms, I've been driving in the foggy days. You could not see where they got in there. It's a lousy stop sign. They have to put a blinker light. They put a blinker light in here on in this road, on New Lisbon Road, and what is the road in here? Chesterfield Road, or whatever they call it. Why they put a light in there? That's stupid. That light should be on 4 Mile, on Route 70, I'm sorry. 4 Mile and Route 70. Should be on 530. I agree with that. That's a main highway there. But then here, what do you need a light for? I'm going to call the county. I figure out you guys can have an input in that. The main, because spring is coming right now. This, the snowstorm coming here on Route 70. I traveled the road to go to Ocean County Hospital and see somebody was very sick for 9 months. And we got very close to get accidents in there. Because the people cannot see the stop sign, they just go through. And as a reason, I want to just probably save somebody's life.
Now, I agree with you, but like you said, it expressed it is a county road and a state road, so they would have to be the ones to handle that.
Well, you are...
We have expressed concerns about that intersection before to the county, and apparently it's falling on deaf ears.
I guess I gotta call them back again. I know that I call on Route 70 for Mile Road, in the circle, that we even have a lot of death. I know as a firefighter in the past, fire police, I respond to many, even with a lot of death there. Not even a lousy. Now they put in some poles. I don't know where they tried to.
Yeah, what is going on at the circle, do you know? They got construction going on out there.
Red Lion is the same. The same light is in Red Lion, they can put it in there in 4 Mile circle before they just will be more death there. It's a shame. With all the taxes they get. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing none, we close this portion of the meeting to the public. Consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine by the Township Council will be enacted by one motion. Should a council member wish to discuss a consent agenda item separately, that item can be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the regular agenda. Council, any changes to the consent agenda?
Council President, no changes, but I'd like to make a request to pull Resolution 53-2017 and Resolution 56-2017.
Well, that would be a change to the consent agenda.
53 and 56.
Anyone else?
Nope.
Is there a motion on the consent agenda as amended?
I motion the consent agenda as amended.
Second.
Poll the council, please.
Ms. Trueblood?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Cartier?
Yes. Mr. Allen, Resolution 53-2017.
Quick question for administration. Are we able to track how much money we've saved each year by being a member of the GIF? Like maybe like an end of the year analysis or something like that? Is that possible?
I don't know how we would be able to determine how much we've saved because the assessments stay with the GIF for a period of 6 years. And if we've had a particularly good year, it's after 6 years when actuarially it's determined that they've already incurred like 98% of the costs that they could probably incur, where you see in the paper occasionally that GIF members get money back. We wouldn't be eligible until after 6 years for the first year. So there's really no way to do it, and this GIF is very different than our prior GIF because except for $1,000 deductible for property damage, it's from $1, and we have no administrative costs. It's just an assessment. The GIF does everything, while the prior GIF had $100,000 or $150,000 self-insured retention. So it's really hard to determine what we've saved. I do provide periodically the council with the reports from the GIF that show us what expenses to date are in each of the years that we've been a member, and I mean in each of the several categories, and then what the GIF average is cost for those categories. By and large, I think we've been doing pretty well, and I'm hopeful, that after the 6 years that we'll benefit and get a rebate from the first year. What that is, I don't know. Other municipalities have gotten rebates from just a couple $1,000s to $60,000 or $70,000.
This is our third or fourth year?
We just completed our 4th year. We're in the now 17 will be the 2nd year of our second 3-year contract with them.
Okay.
Motion to approve resolution number 53-2017.
Is there a second?
Second.
Poll the council, please.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Ms. Trueblood?
Yes.
Mr. Cartier?
Yes. Resolution 56-2017, Mr. Allen.
That funding, I know we're responsible for the cash match, but are we also responsible for the in-kind services?
Yeah, I believe we are. We generally report the time and costs of our employees in managing the program along with the board as well. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Motion to approve resolution number 56-2017.
Is there a second?
Second motion.
Poll the council?
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Ms. Trueblood?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Cartier?
Yes. Moving on, ordinances for introduction. Ordinances 2 through 6 are all related to properties that were sold at the last tax auction. Correct, Mr. Gonzalez? Property sale.
The auction, yes.
Okay. So ordinance number 2, an ordinance of the Township of Pemberton authorizing sale of block 338, lots 5 and 6 by way of quitclaim deed. Council, is there a motion to introduce?
I would just note the date of the public hearing, Mr. Courier.
February
15th.
15th.
Before I make that motion, could I ask a question that actually pertains to each of those ordinances?
Okay.
The $750 that's mentioned in the ordinances, the $750 in costs, can you explain what exactly that is?
Basically, for the most part, Mr. Bear,
I raised my hand.
it's an amount that frankly I selected based on anticipated time and effort and services in preparing a deed, publication of the ordinances, and
Administrative type stuff?
yeah, administrative type stuff. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, it's gone up from when last time when it was done 7-8 years ago, but so have the costs.
Motion to introduce ordinance number 2-2017.
Is there a second?
I second.
Any discussion? Poll the council, please.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson?
Yes.
Ms. Trueblood?
Yes.
Mr. Cartier?
Yes. Ordinance number 3, 2017, authorizing sale of block 153, lot 33 by way of quitclaim deed. Sorry. Is there a motion to introduce?
I motion to introduce ordinance 3, 2017.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Public hearing.
With public hearing on all of these ordinances to be February 15th.
The record.
There you go. Keeping you
Any
straight,
discussion?
Council
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Poll the council, please. Yep, Ms.
Ms. Trueblood did the
That's
first.
second.
Jason said, okay, sorry.
I know it was all down that way.
Ms. Trueblood?
Yes.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Cartier?
Yes. Ordinance number 4, 2017, authorizing sale of block 244, lot 32 by way of quitclaim deed. Is there a motion to introduce?
Motion to introduce ordinance number 4-2017.
Is there a second?
Public hearing on February 15th.
I second.
Any discussion? Poll the council, please.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson?
Yes.
Ms. Trueblood?
Yes.
Mr. Cartier?
Yes. Ordinance number 5, 2017, authorizing sale of block 452, lot 15 by way of quitclaim deed. Is there a motion to introduce?
I motion to introduce ordinance number 5, 2017 with public hearing February 15th.
Is there a second?
A second.
Any discussion? Poll the council, please.
Ms. Trueblood?
Yes.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Cartier?
Yes. Ordinance number 6, 2017, authorizing sale of block 121, lot 42 by way of quitclaim deed. Is there a motion to introduce?
I'll make the motion to introduce ordinance number 7, 2017.
6.
Excuse me, 6, 2017.
Is there a second?
I second.
Any discussion? Poll the council, please.
Ms. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Ms. Trueblood?
Yes.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Cartier?
Yes. Resolution number 7, 2017, an ordinance number 7, 2017, an ordinance establishing salaries for certain employees and elected officials of the Township of Pemberton. Is there a motion to introduce this ordinance?
I motion to introduce the ordinance number 7, 2017.
Is there a second?
Second.
Also public hearing on this.
A
With
public
public hearing.
hearing on February 15th, will that be?
Yep.
Yes.
I had requested that Amy pull last year's salary for these positions, and a lot of them are like really close to the top of these. So do we have numbers that, are they gonna stay underneath these numbers in the budget?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Last year's salaries
Right.
are close to the maximum.
In last year's salaries, it's base, first of all, it's the ordinance is base salary, doesn't include any longevity, et cetera.
I understand.
So last year's...
2017 will include raises, correct?
Yes, all of the 2017 numbers that you have before you are all include proposed raises from 2016. Base salaries.
The ordinance, the number in the ordinance only reflects the base salary, so any additional compensation that they have coming to them will be reflected in the budget. So if there's longevity, you'll see that number in the budget.
I understand the base salary. Right, my question is, you're looking at a municipal chief financial officer who is within $1,900 of the maximum already on 2016.
Yeah, I believe the number in the 17 is a 2% increase from...
It's not going to fit.
I will check the numbers and get back to you, but...
She'll be over the max.
It's going to be real close to the max. If not over. I mean, 100,000, 2%, that's $2,000. You're looking at $98,000.
I will check the numbers, but I can tell you, I personally did the math on the calculator, so I took for the chief financial officer last year's top salary, which is he was at the top, and I multiplied it by 1.02. That's 2%. So unless I made a mistake with the calculator, it fits.
Are you looking at his base last year, or are you looking at last year's?
Yes. Can someone...
You're looking at the base.
Please.
This is base.
That's the number that was given, the base.
And I don't have a calculator. I don't have my phone. What if they not have my phone?
The number for the chief financial officer is exactly 2% above last year's.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I provided a tracked version.
I just calculated the Director of Public Works and the Director of Recreation, and if you take 2% over what their base salary was last year, you're over the max. By $9.
I trust him. It comes to math. I trust Ken. Yeah. Dennis is a lawyer. He doesn't do
I know, right?
You're a lawyer, Dennis. You don't do math.
Bad numbers?
We don't do math.
We're a small town. I do it like this.
I just don't want to have to redo this.
The 17.
The Director of Public Works and Director of Recreation and Senior Services, the number's correct.
So
It's 2%.
17.
Would be these.
These could be anywhere between
These two.
those. So you got
Actually, I gave them an extra 76 cents.
76 cents. You know what I did? I did 122.
Lawyer wins.
Yeah, right.
The
Really want it this close?
good save.
Why don't you just put? Why don't you make the top?
we do this every year, and it's at the top. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Any other discussion, council?
No.
All the council?
Ms. Trueblood?
Yes.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Cordier?
Yes.
Did you mention the public hearing date?
Yep.
Yep.
Good job.
voucher we're heading out.
And it's not their fault, it's my fault. Because I did get it, and I apparently did not forward it. I apologize.
Okay, can you just forward that to us tomorrow?
I absolutely will. I will forward it tonight to Amy.
Also, my error in forgetting to...
Yeah, ARH had this one in plenty of time. It was my fault.
Approval by council required for payment of vouchers on bill list dated 1/26/17. Council, is there a motion on the bill list?
Motion to approve the bill list, January 26, 2017.
Is there a second?
A second.
Any discussion?
May I have on the legal services where it says Pemberton Township versus Dan, I just wanted, if someone could explain that to...
Can you give a page?
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's, page number 2. And it's...
Tom?
It's down at
Yes.
Dave. She's
Yes.
asking.
The developer that's proposed development off of Pemberton Boulevard, Trenton Road. He's in an agreement to purchase property from us for the last 10 years and has yet to pay us. So we're taking him to court.
Thank you for that.
Any other discussion?
And just for the record, that's being handled by special counsel, not by the solicitor's office.
Yeah, because he's on a board or something.
I have a conflict.
Yeah. Okay. Any other discussion? Poll the council, please. Or is there a motion? Do we move it?
No, there was a motion.
Okay, poll the council, please.
Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Ms. Trueblood?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson?
Yes.
Mr. Cartier?
Yes. No fire bills.
I could have put it on the consent agenda.
Solicitor's report?
I have nothing tonight, Council President.
Mayor?
Just one thing, we're still paving, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, February.
I know, right?
Paving. They're doing the drainage work on Washington coming into PL from 70 to Connecticut right now. They did the Connecticut to Rhode Island. Was the one they just took care of. Now they're doing the first part of that. I think they're going to mill that this week, and first chance they're going to get the paving down. The plant's still open, and the guys asked if they could keep going, and we're not going to stop them. If they want to do roads, we'll give it to them. I give it to these guys. They're hustling.
Anything else? Mr. Gonzalez?
Just one quick addition with regard to paving. I believe we still have like $90,000 in the old contract for the purchase of asphalt. So it's not, we're still not using the new money. It's still last year's money, so it's working out well.
Okay. Council comments?
I have none.
Thank you, Mr. Gardner.
Are we going down the line?
Sure.
All right, I'll go next. I just have two things. Pemberton Township High School's play, The Music Man, is this weekend, February 3rd and 4th
Figures.
at 7, and February 5th, I believe is the Sunday, at 2 o'clock. I think it's $5, don't quote me, maybe 3, something like that.
10. I think it's $10.
Is it 10? Okay, $10. It is well worth it. It's all
Somewhere between
Pemberton.
3 and 10.
The min-max.
But it's all Pemberton Township High School students. They do an awesome, awesome, awesome job. If you've seen Mary Poppins last year, you know that it was a great job. Also, Pemberton Township Rec Department on February 10th at the BMIA building is having a Sweethearts Dance at 6:30 to 9 o'clock. I think it's titled Daddy and Me, but that is open to anyone if you want to come out for that. That's all I have. Thank everyone for coming out. Be safe and have a good evening.
That is actually a rec sponsor. It's not someone going through the rec?
Rec.
Okay.
Yep,
Wow.
it's rec sponsored.
Thank you for coming out, and I want everyone to stay warm out there. This bitter wind, it's going to be bitter cold tonight, they said, and tomorrow. But I wanted to say also that on this Sunday at the BMI, the association brought a good presentation where our mayor gave the updates and all the projects going on, and I just want to say, from hearing to a lot of the residents, they were very well pleased with just the information that's there, and it was well explained, and I just wanted to say thank you, Mayor, for that, because it was a very well gathering and very smoothly, and a wealth of information. So thank you.
And we're going to have you come to Lake Valley.
I'd just like to thank everyone for coming out, and have a good night.
Council,
Yes.
I'd like everybody to come prepared next meeting with dates for budget. We won't set anything, but just come with some dates that we'd like to have our budget hearing, because it's my understanding we should have it by next meeting. We're required to have it, well, it's supposed to be submitted by the 17th, but we should have it by then, so come prepared with dates, please.
Okay.
Yes.
With that, thank everyone for coming out. Please have a safe trip home. I know the snow for Sunday's been downgraded
Oh,
to flurries,
all right.
thank God. And be safe.
Okay, thank you. Motion
Thank
to
you.
adjourn.
Thank you.
Second.